Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Alrighty. So, I'm already feeling the energy. I don't exactly know what it's about, but it's intense. So, let's see. What's going on with the collective? Spirits? What is going on? I hope you're doing well, and thank you for the support on the channel. The likes, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations all really do help out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. All right. So we actually have some that I have not pulled yet in this deck, which is always exciting. Okay. The first thing that I'm noticing is we've got an 11 and a 33. So you could be seeing a lot of synchronizations right now, a lot of repeating numbers, those kinds of things. Hey, the gingerbread house. There's like a kind of a temptation energy coming through. Yeah. Okay. So it's basically talking about kind of taking a pause or treading lightly on something. Temptations, the illusion of comfort, harmful habits, unforeseen problems, troublesome diversions. Um So it's mainly just saying to think twice before proceeding with something. And then we've got the time tree. So there could be something here with divine timing. This could be talking about rushing something ahead. Prematurely is kind of what I'm getting. What is this about? Okay, yeah. Some divine timing, having the time of your life, awareness of time passing, savoring the moment. Okay, so this one's saying it is time. It's time to act, time to dare, time to speak, time to wake up, time to engage with your life before you run out of time. So many of our wishes concern time. We wish for more time or to go back in time. We wish we hadn't wasted time or taken time for granted. And then there are those perfect moments when we wish time would stand still. What if you didn't know what time was for an entire day? Huh. Okay. So we've got temptation and then it is time. That seems a little contradictory because we've got one that's saying it's time to act, and then we've got one that's saying to be cautious and kind of take a second look before acting. Okay, interesting. The stone hairs. Get a little deeper. Okay, this is talking about perceptions being a little wonky. Don't leap to conclusions. Allow transformations to settle before you act. Okay. And then the bard song is oh no, that's a different one. Okay. Um okay, this is talking about an emotional breakthrough, an open heart. Um Too much feeling is pent up inside your heart. Perhaps too much sorrow, but perhaps also too much profound joy. It can be hard to let tears flow, even tears of happiness. It's time to welcome music in every way possible. Sing, play, listen. Don't be afraid to crack open. That's how the light gets in. Okay, so there's like, this is interesting. All right. So give me just a second. So I grabbed a different deck to try and make sense of this energy. What I'm getting, because we've got two contradictory messages coming through, one saying it's time to act, it's time to do something to have an emotional breakthrough. That's what I'm getting. Is that there's so many emotions that you have coming up to the surface, and it's time to let that out. And then we've got these two that are kind of like cautioning against acting rashly or impulsively, more or less. And they're contradictory. And so what I'm getting, okay, it's coming through. What I'm getting, this could actually be the ego versus, it's like a head over heart battle almost. It's the energy of getting the guidance to do something, but it's making you feel a little stressed out. And so then the mind comes in and comes up with all the reasons on why to wait. But your guidance is actually telling you that it is time for this. Okay, let's get some more information here. This is a really interesting energy. Um, there's also, I was getting like weird stomach stuff going on right before recording. Just kind of like it's almost like when you're so excited but so nervous that you get a little nauseous. That's kind of what I was feeling. Because I'm talking about physical symptoms, if you're concerned with your health in any way, check with a medical professional. I'm not offering medical advice. We're just talking about things from a spiritual standpoint, or an energetic standpoint. So, yeah. Okay. Broken heart. Okay. So there's definitely that's two cards that are talking about heart healing, cracking open the heart. Um, okay. What's going on with this heart healing spirit? Going on with this broken heart energy. For some of you, this is communicating with somebody. I'm really getting that thread of energy. The part of the message coming through is it's time to communicate something to somebody about your emotions for them. And there's like heart healing, there's an emotional breakthrough that is going to take place when this happens. But because, that's a scary thing. Like when you're thinking about being that open, honest, and vulnerable with somebody and expressing deeper emotions, or, I'm kind of getting like a reconciliation energy. Um, it can be stressful. And then our mind gets in the way and tells us all the reasons why not to do it, why the time isn't right, etc., etc. But then it gets into that energy of like, time's running out. It's a lot of that fear kind of stuff coming up. But then victory. Okay, which is success. Like this is success, achievement. This is talking about a successful breakthrough, a successful emotional breakthrough. Okay. What else is going on? What else is going on here? That. Oh, is that worried that this is that's in reverse? Interesting. I'm thinking woman. Huh. Okay. That is in reverse. Okay, what I'm actually getting is by continuing to align with your inner truth, with who it is that you're becoming, with your most authentic self. By continuing to align with that and listen to your guidance, it's going to lead to victory when it comes to this emotional breakthrough, to this heart healing. And then we've got attachment in reverse. And what I'm getting from that is this is actually going to be something that helps you to fully remove the mask. Fully, or it's a situation that requires you to fully remove the mask and be completely vulnerable. And it's kind of like an and, instead of an either or. It's kind of both. So there could be something here with you really cracking open and allowing yourself to be messy but vulnerable and authentic, that fully helps you to remove this mask that I feel like you've been wearing probably for a long time. Which is normal. That's we have our persona, which is a mask. And that's, who we appear to be in certain situations, or because society told us to, or caretakers when you were a kid told you that you needed to be a certain way, so then you become that, but it's not truly who you are. There's something here about really tapping into your authenticity. We've got one, the thinking woman. So this is a feminine energy that's very intellectual. So this could be you if you are more of the feminine polarity dominantly, or this could be communicating with the feminine, just depending on the situation. Hmm. This might be an extension of the thread of energy from yesterday, which kind of took a turn towards the end to like a divine masculine reading, but it wasn't fully. So I actually don't think I labeled it divine masculine. But okay, yeah, this is your highest timeline. This is you are manifesting your dream reality. And part of what that requires are these emotional breakthroughs, is being open, honest, and authentic with yourself and with other people, and really, being that the best version of you in the now moment that you can be, and that continuously will align you with your highest timeline. Financial constraints. Okay. Um that could be something that's impacting you right now, that's causing some extra stress and not allowing you to see things clearly. But with cornucopia here, this is very much an energy that is lifting. So if this is something you're currently experiencing in your life right now, keep focusing on abundance and those little things that the universe does to prove to you that you are indeed rising into your highest timeline. And you can ask for like proof from the divine or from the universe, like, okay, prove to me that I am aligning with my highest timeline, with the best version of myself, with my dream reality. And then just pay attention, those little things, finding a coin, having a great conversation with somebody in a coffee shop or at the grocery store or whatever it is, and really, allow those to be your confirmations, and keep looking for those confirmations. And the more you are looking for those confirmations that you are indeed on your highest timeline, but you're not attaching to it, you're just allowing it to happen, the more that will happen, the more opportunities you'll get, the more money you'll get, the more resources, the more soul connection interactions, those kinds of things will just continue to happen more and more. This could also be talking about finding your purpose. So there's something coming through about soul purpose. And if you feel like you have a soul purpose or a soul mission, then you do. Oftentimes, funny, I was actually just talking to my daughter about this last night. She was asking me about it. And it's it's basically, it's a fire in your bones, and you're here for more, you're here for a reason, you're here to do something, but for a long time maybe you don't know what that is, and that's okay. Continuing to align with your most authentic version, that will reveal to you where you're being called. And also know that the ultimately, most people who have a soul purpose or a soul mission here, it's to help the planet shift. If you really break it down to the bare minimum, to the very basics of it, it's to help uplift the collective in some way, help shift the planet into this, into the planet's highest timeline, more or less, into the 5D. Um, and then from there, it will look different on how it's expressed by different people, just depending on what they individually want to do. And so it's most likely going to be something where you're helping people, you're helping the planet, you're helping animals, you are doing something like that. So if you have a soul mission in that fire, know that ultimately that's what it is. It's a call to help. It's a call to serve in some way. And the thing is there's that kind of dichotomy that happens with it, where yes, you're here to help others. And also, a part of this temple path, a part of this journey is learning how to fill your own cup up first, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So that's when we get into, self care, self love, so on and so forth. Um, okay, a random little tangent. Anyways, so you may be kind of searching for your soul purpose right now. I'm being called to read attachment in reverse. Um, this is a wonderful indication that an old negative pattern, relationship, or desperate attitude is being released. As you continue to let go, you will be able to establish new ways of doing things and relating to others. The universe wants to congratulate you on your healthy new approach. Be sure to support the changes you're making in your ongoing choices. Some patterns can be deeply encoded, and you may need to continue releasing the old habits, all the while honoring the new decisions in your thoughts, actions, and interactions with others. You've broken the chains, and now you can walk away from the limiting attachments into a bright, new, unlimited future with the cornucopia card. Hell's yeah, man. That's good stuff. All right, what else is going on? If the thread of energy where the call to communicate with somebody isn't resonating with you, this could just be a call to allow yourself to feel your feelings, allow yourself to process what's coming up to the surface, allow yourself to crack open and allow those emotions to flow. Adjacent possibilities. Okay, what I'm getting from that is when you allow yourself to have this emotional breakthrough, part of this victory, part of this success, and what's also going to help you to shift into this highest timeline is going to be many doors of opportunity that open for you. More from here. Okay. Started off a little weird, but this is a really good energy. Okay. We've got woman holding a heart. So this is a feminine energy who yeah, I'm getting the romantic thread here. If you resonate with being a feminine, what this could indicate is that when you allow yourself to have this emotional breakthrough, you're going to have significant heart healing that happens, and it's going to allow you to magnetize somebody that you can really have a healthy, happy, harmonious relationship with. If you are a masculine, this could indicate needing to talk to somebody who is indeed, I'm hearing, in love with you. Or somebody that you are in love with. If that's the case, I feel like it's mutual. Um, so that could be what this is indicating, is communicating with somebody that you are interested in. Um, and then it could also be it's kind of an in and again, but it's one of these, like, when you allow yourself to have that emotional breakthrough, it's going to have the same effect regardless if you're masculine or feminine. It's going to allow your heart space to heal deeply, and then you will be able to have a very healthy, happy, harmonious relationship, basically like a romantic relationship. And it also helps in like friendships and stuff too. Having a healed heart space that also allows you to manifest your highest potential. um your dream timeline. Yeah. So we just got the yin yang card. um that is that's my very high level soulmate card. Twin flame, take it as it resonates, whatever journey you're on, whatever label you resonate with. It's a deep, deep soul connection with another person. So, um, with that counterpart energy, um, that is part of this timeline that you are aligning with. You are aligning with a divine love, and you are worthy of it. And that's part of where this breakthrough is going to really help you with that, is to release. And also, yeah, it's like a release of all of these pent up emotions. And it's just, oh my gosh, it's going to feel so, just the amount of relief that I feel in the energy, allowing these emotions to be expressed, like the relief is just, it's so much. It's like just a sigh of just like, oh, I was holding that in for so long. Um, so yeah. Okay. What door to personal healing and happiness? What I'm hearing with this is allow yourself to walk through this door. Allow yourself to align with what it is that brings you joy, peace, happiness, love, abundance, all of those things that we desire to experience in our life. Allow yourself to open up to that. And also the personal healing that's really resonating with that releasing of whatever is pent up in the heart space. And for some of you, this is going to be a solo thing where you release it and you process it on your own, or maybe with the help of like a professional, a coach, a therapist, whatever. Um, for others of you, this is the need to communicate with somebody, and that's what's going to provide the healing. Okay, it's not expecting the yin yang card. All tied up. Okay. Hmm. Give me just a second. So I paused it just to see and to tap into the energy and like really figure out precisely who this is for. So because of the cards that came out, I am picking up that this is primarily a divine counterpart reading. And it's coming through as a very masculine heavy energy. So this is probably for the divine masculine collective. So from this point forward, I'm actually going to read it through that lens. If anything else comes up, then, we'll follow that thread of energy. But now it's like predominantly this divine masculine energy that's coming through. So we're gonna we're gonna go from that point. Um, when I paused it, I was really trying to figure out what this all tied up card was about. And I was asking if I should read it, to the collective, and I got no, don't read it. And then the message that came through was very interesting. So where it landed was like on these other feminine energy cards. And then what I actually was seeing is there's something about you communicating with your feminine that will actually help your feminine to release some things that are tying them up in life. So it's a mutual thing. Because I do feel like that's going to definitely happen for you. There's going to be a huge release. It's going to help you fully tap into your authenticity. It's going to really shift your energy in a very positive, beneficial way. It's also going to have a significant positive effect on your feminine as well. It's going to help your feminine release some of these binds, some of these, um, in this card, she's like all tied up, and hence the name of the card. She's tied up in like, I don't know, it kind of looks like rope. But there's something that's going to help your feminine release something that they may be struggling with in their life as well. So this could be something you know about, this could be something you don't know about, but that's kind of like another hidden aspect of this is it's for your person as well. It's not just for you. Um, so keep that in mind when you're kind of struggling with the timing and everything else. It's going to have a very positive, beneficial effect on your person as well. And that might be something that you haven't fully realized up until now. Um, but it is. It's really there's like a release energy on both ends when this communication happens. Okay, we've got appreciation, and I feel like this is saying that both you and your person appreciate each other regardless. I'm getting a no contact thread of energy here. So I feel like you both have a deep appreciation for the other, but neither of you realizes that because you're not communicating. Um, so yeah, and just, continue to stay in that attitude of gratitude. That's really going to help you to fully shift into your dream timeline, basically. Where you're literally waking up every morning just like, I can't believe this is my life. Like, that's really what you're headed for. That's what all of the internal work and everything has been about, is for you to fully shift into this timeline, into this reality where you are waking up every day just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is my life. This is so great. Look at, how many people I'm helping or how many animals I'm helping or whatever it is. I'm living soul mission. I'm financially free. Like, there's a financial freedom element on this card. Like, I'm financially free. I'm in the best health of my life. I'm serving others in a very harmonious way. I'm experiencing wonderful connections with friends and with clients or whatever it is for you. Um, it's really, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful energy that's coming through with this. And then we've got action, and then I looked at the time card, and so what I'm getting is it's literally time for action. It's time to do this. Yeah, allow those doubts to just fall away, or just ignore them. When those doubts come up, just be like, yeah, I see you, I hear you. Not listening though. Thank you anyways. Like, thank you anyways. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be worth it. Caring connections. And then there's the anxiety card. I was feeling anxiety in this energy. So you still could have some anxiety. And that's, I mean, it is what it is. That's to be expected. So yeah, again, just do your best to not pay as much attention to those thoughts. When you try and control your thoughts, it doesn't really work. It's shifting your perspective on it and allowing yourself to see thoughts as an energy, and realizing that you have the authority within yourself by being a human to pick what thoughts you want to attach to. It's kind of a quantum way of doing it, but it really works. I've been doing it for a long time, and the more you do it, the you don't have to think about it anymore. At first, I remember, this was a long time ago at this point, but I remember trying to change my internal critic, trying to change that talk, and that didn't work. And I tried to control my thoughts, and that didn't work. And then I learned about observing thoughts and just being kind of a just an observer. And then I would just watch them. And I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Some of them that were repetitive, I would unpack and be like, okay, where is this coming from? And oftentimes it would lead to something I heard in school, or something I heard from an adult when I was a kid, or societal expectations, that kind of thing. And then some of them was, I heard from a specific person, or whatever. It's a way to unpack some of the subconscious programming as well, consciously. And then then you start to attach to the thoughts that make you feel good. Like, oh, I am worthy of living my best life. I am capable of this. And it's not in an ego way, it's just in a way where you're attaching to thoughts that allow you to align with your highest potential. Okay. And then we've got caring connections. And I feel like this is a part of this cornucopia reality. This is a part of your dream reality, is having a person that you can share life with. This is life partner energy that's coming through, especially with the yin yang card. Um, so it's possible that you're going to end up like working with your person, and maybe having a family or combining families, um, expanding families. That's what I just heard. Um, and just helping each other just through life, like true life partner. And then we've got hostilities and patience. Is that saying the time is now? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we've got another timing card, and I'm getting that this is just extra confirmation that the time is now for this. Um and then the hostilities card. That could also be part of what is stopping you right now, is thinking about potential issues, um not wanting to create upheaval for your person, is what I just heard. But that would make sense why this message came out with all tied up card, is to let you know that it's actually going to have the opposite effect. If you are worried about going towards your person and then causing chaos in their life by you reaching out, it's actually going to have the opposite effect. It's actually going to bring just like peace and harmony, and it's one of these, like, I'm feeling the feminine after you reach out, and it's a relief feeling. It's a yeah, yeah. It's it's not going to cause chaos for your person. I mean, that being said, your physical life for both of you is probably going to change so that you can really embrace this union energy, but it's not going to be unwanted chaos if it does create chaos in any way. So I had to pause it to blow my nose really quick. Sometimes that can indicate the need to communicate, but I'm still dealing with some sick symptoms, so you know, there's that. But I mean, there's definitely um communication that's coming through here. We're going to get into the tarot to see what else is going on. This hostilities card is also um making me think of potential hostilities that you may deal with after reaching out to your person, or like really taking action to lock in a union. It might not be major at first, but like when you go to actually lock in a romantic connection with your person, it may cause some external hostilities. I mean, it is what it is. But I feel like you and your person are in the energy where you both, it's like you will come together and navigate it together. So it's not going to be a huge thing. It's just going to be something that you and your person get to move through together. And you're going to have the support from your person, and then you'll support your person, and it'll just be, it's like, it's a lot easier to navigate it when you have a person for sure in your corner that you can trust fully. And I'm hearing, even though that doesn't really make sense. And so that could be part of it too, is there's a part of you that naturally trusts your person. And then there's a part of you, because of past experiences, that's ringing a lot of alarm bells. That's like, well, wait a minute. There's not logical reasons on why I feel like I can trust this person entirely. It's because it's a soul thing. It's because your intuition's telling you that this person really is in your corner. This really is your person. This is the person that really wants to see you achieve and be all that you can be, and have the experience that you want with no limits, and is willing to help you get there, and then vice versa. It's such a different way of experiencing another person and a connection, and that's part of the divine counterpart journey, is to truly have somebody who loves you completely unconditionally, regardless of the distance, regardless of past hurt, regardless of any of that. It's just an unconditional love that's just there. Yeah. Okay. What's going on? Spit out. What else do we need to bring through? Nine of Dreams. Yeah, that's anxiety. That's really stuck in your head. Um, yeah, it's having a lot of um it can be like sleepless nights, and or just like issue sleeping. Yeah, it's really, really stuck in your head. You can see off the imagery, hopefully it shows up. Um, we've got a rainy day, so the lighting's a little funky, but it's like in this monster's mouth, and like the person's covering their head, and it's just like being swallowed by all of those anxious thoughts. And then we've got the anxiety card. And so yeah, it's a lot of anxiety. Part of it could be the anxiety of reaching out. You could be experiencing just anxiety of like, is this really what I'm being called to do? Is this really what this person wants? Is this really, is it all just in my head? It can be thoughts like that. It can also be just external life, the financial constraints card out here. It could be worrying about finances, worrying about this. Um, I heard something like worrying about if I'm enough and then if I have enough. Just know this is a situation where I feel like you and your person are coming together to build together. So even if it's not like, if you desire to have, extreme financial abundance and that's something that you want beforehand, this is a situation where I feel like you and your person are going to come together and build together. Um, so don't let that stop you. Um, and then there was one other thing. Oh, it's gone. Okay, well, if it's meant to come back, it'll come back. Seven of Skins. Reverse. The High Priestess is in reverse. Yeah, oh yeah, there's nudity on some of these. I have to pay attention. Okay. Um, the High Priestess in reverse is talking about not fully listening to your intuition. And that kind of brings me back to the beginning of this reading where we had such those polarizing energies coming through. There's the energy of like it's time to act now, it's safe to act now, have this emotional breakthrough, it's safe to do so, do that. And then there was this energy of tread lightly, be very cautious, don't act too quickly, and it's really conflicting. And because the high priestess is in reverse, what I'm taking from that is that it's that head versus soul battle. It's your mind battling the guidance that's coming through, and it's not, if you're really stuck up in your head and you're stuck in anxious thoughts, it's really hard to listen to your intuition and know what is what. And so that's where it's one of those, if you can just pull out of your thoughts for a minute, tap into the now moment, ask a question. So release all of those anxious thoughts, just surrender them all. Just, okay, these aren't mine. This is, I'm just going to release them. And you can just try this, and just experiment with it, have fun with it. Yeah. So release all of those thoughts, pull your energy into your body, into your space, take a couple deep breaths, and then ask your question. Like, okay, is it time to reach out? Is it in my highest good to reach out now? Something like that. And then listen to the immediate feeling or thought that you have. It's going to be immediate. And oftentimes it's going to be way more subtle than when all of those anxious thoughts come back up. So if it's like, you know, yes. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, but wait, what if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? But this, but that, but the time of day or the time of night or the this, do they want to really hear from me? Is this all in my head? That's all of those anxious thoughts. That's all of those fear-based thoughts coming up to try and take control of the situation because, again, it's ultimately trying to keep you safe. You reaching out to your counterpart is a huge leap of faith. It is what it is. Regardless of the situation, it's a huge leap of faith. And so it's jumping into the unknown. It's potentially going to lead to rejection or hurt or more pain. And even though that's not what I'm feeling in the energy, your mind will tell you, because those are potentials, don't do that thing. And so that's where it's really, really important to learn how to navigate those thoughts and things like that so that you can pull into the now moment so that you can actually hear your intuition and what it is actually telling you to do. Okay. Seven of Skins. There's a victory kind of energy coming through here. Um, Give me just a second. Let me grab my book. So I grabbed my book and then I peeked at it. Um, the Seven of Skins in this one is talking about protection. And then it's also talking about boundaries, but protection is really, really standing out to me right now. And then I was hearing something, basically, it's like no pressure, but it's one of those, your feminine could really use your protection in some way. And that's the message that's coming through. And it's interesting because the energy that I'm getting from your feminine is very like strong. It's very boss level energy. but it's there's something with your energy, and you might be surprised to find out when you reach out to your person when this comes up. This feels like a situation where your person has been through so much in their life that they don't truly feel safe around anyone. But there's an irrational safety that they feel around you. There's just it's in you probably will feel, if you haven't already, a natural protective instinct that comes out when it comes to your feminine. And it's not in a toxic way. It's in a, that's the divine masculine energy, is to protect. Um Protect, provide, like the traditional things. But it's an energy thing. It's not saying that it has to be these like gender role things back in the 50s where, the feminine's a stay-at-home, wife or mother, whatever, or spouse, because it's not a gender thing. Um, but no, I said gender roles, but you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't have to be that traditional thing where the masculine works and takes care of all of that, and then the feminine, takes care of the house. This is a much more like, it's an elevated version of that, but there's a protection element in your energy that I don't feel like your feminine feels with probably anyone. Just in this energy that I'm picking up on. Um, and so your feminines learned how to navigate life, how to protect themselves, how to, be aware and be like, we've got the thinking woman out here. So your feminine is very intelligent, is very just aware. And this is an awakened feminine. This is a divine feminine. So this is a feminine who can handle it. But that's part of where that relief energy comes from, is because you, with this person, you both naturally pull out that energy within each other. So your feminine's going to naturally push you into your most masculine, like your most divine masculine energy, and then you will help soften the feminine into their divine feminine energy and allow that feminine energy to fully rise. And that could be part of why you're being pushed so hard right now, is because there is soul mission that came out, and there is something that you can provide your feminine that I don't feel like your feminine can fully get with another person. As again, like, I say no pressure, but I mean that's a lot. But it's just it's something that the divine really wants to come through with, to let you know what's really going on in this energy. And so no matter how you're viewing your feminine, what you can provide your feminine is something that they really aren't going to fully receive from somebody else in the way that you can provide it. And that's part of where you're being pushed to reach out. It is for you to have this heart healing, this emotional breakthrough, and to fully shift into your highest timeline. But there is also reunion energy all over these cards. There's the romantic thread all over these cards. And so it's this energy of like, you both want this. You both are ready for this, and you both can help each other to ascend into your highest potential, tap into soul mission completely, and then also be rewarded greatly from the universe financially, and with opportunities, and with resources, and with high level soulmate friends and things like that, where it's such a different experience, and you're being called into that, especially because we're in the midst of it right now when you're talking about the ascension process on the planet. Like, we're in the midst of some shit. So, there's a lot of people being called into purpose right now. Like, it's time. Like, divine warriors unite. Okay. Anyways, that really made me laugh. All right. Frickin' hell. That was some funny shit. Okay. Let's get back into this. I'm seeing like old school 90s cartoons with like some rings of power and light workers coming together. Anyways, okay. Let me pull back into this energy. All right. What else does the divine masculine need to know, spirit? That was really funny. Okay. I get tickled. It doesn't take much. Temperance. This is talking about balance. Let me check for nudity. Okay, yeah. So, okay, yeah. So this is really indicating that there is a huge balance between you and your person. And then it's also talking about you getting balanced within yourself. Funnily enough, though, when I said that, there was like this, how do I explain it? It's this energy of after you have this emotional breakthrough, that's when you're going to fully be able to find that balance within. So if you've felt really out of balance and you're trying to get in balance and you're trying to um integrate the shadow and do all of these things, in whatever terminology, it's just healing and tapping into your most authentic self. If you've really been doing your best to do that, but it's not working, it's a struggle and it's difficult and it's really hard to get into this balanced energy. It's because you need to have this emotional breakthrough in order to get into this balanced energy. There's also the Hanged Man, which is talking about deep introspection and a change of perspective. um for some of you, that's interesting. For some of you, I just heard that you're having a perspective shift in this reading. Um, which huzzah, that's groovy. Um, yeah, so and you could have been in this period for a while of going within, looking for some of these answers, asking some of these questions, seeing beyond the veil in some way, seeing beneath the surface level stuff in the mainstream and seeing what's really going on behind the scenes and things like that. That's all part of the introspection that happens when we go within and really start digging for these answers and trying to tap into our purpose, and in realizing that there's so much more going on, that the spiritual and the physical are very intertwined. This can also be realizing that there is legitimately spiritual warfare going on right now. We're in the battle for we're in a battle for the planet. um the light already won. Now we just get to see how we get there, but that's a download for a different day. But just know, the light won. Like the 5D shift is happening. It is what it is. So now we just get to help and see if we can make it happen quicker with the least amount of damage possible. Anyhow, okay. King of Songs. This is the King of Cups. So this is talking about emotional maturity. This is talking about you really tapping into that energy of being able to openly express your deeper emotions. And it doesn't mean that you have to do this all the time with everybody. In this scenario, this is really about you tapping into that energy and being able to openly have this communication with your person when it comes to those deeper feelings. And maybe I just heard regrets. So it could be where you have a heart to heart with this person and talk about all of those pain points, and seeing things clearly now and not understanding what was going on when you first encountered your person, and being probably in a more unhealed, unconscious state, and so on and so forth. And, just going into it and having that conversation, and then having the conversation of, okay, where do we go from here? What it is what it is. What is it that you desire? What is it that you want? What is it that, you foresee for your future? And this is what I foresee. Let's see, if it's similar, if we want the same things, if we're on the same page, which funnily enough, in this energy, you both are. I feel like there's going to be a lot of, I'm getting like this energy where you both are just like, wow, I never could have guessed that we were both so much on the same page. And there's something in that too. Maybe you and your person haven't really experienced a relationship with somebody who's truly on the same page, who truly wants the same things out of life. I'm getting two people that are like big visionaries with the Four of Skins and the Eight of Songs. Okay. Oh, okay. For some of you, there's going to be a walking away from committed relationships. So this could be you, your person, both. Um, If that's not the case for you, then what's coming through is that there is a walking away from something. And I'm getting this is walking away from like the old way of doing things, more of the unconscious way of living life. Vices, lack mentality, victim mentality, everything happens to me, not for me, that kind of thing. It's really shifting away from that way of experiencing life into a more conscious state, more of a conscious creator state. And then the Four of Wands is commitment. It's union, reunion, long-term commitment. And so that, when I was talking about do you both, you're going to be surprised, I feel like, when you have this conversation and realize how much you and your person are on the same page. There definitely is high level commitment here, long-term commitment. And that could be marriage if that's something that you both desire, is like a physical, actual legal marriage. Ace of Dreams. Reverse no. Okay. So this is speaking your truth. This can be an aha moment from the divine. It can be clarity. I'm really picking up it's a call to communicate. It's a call to communicate your truth to your person. Ten of honey. That's pentacles. That's multi-generational wealth. That's super strong, stable foundations. And that's coming together with somebody to build an empire. That's the energy of the Ten of Pentacles. And so by communicating with your person, that's what you're going to be focused on from that point forward is how do you come together and build what it is that you're being called to build right now. And that's going to be different for all of you. But yeah, it's really just the energy of coming together with a life partner and building together. Yeah. The Knight of Skins. This is the Knight of Wands. This is fast moving energy. It's passionate energy. It's talking about communicating again. There's a lot of communication cards coming through. And then the Fool. So that's about taking this leap. And I like the depiction on this because there's like this big giant doorway. And so it's about allowing yourself to go through that door and see what's on the other side. And it looks intimidating, like how big this door is and like what giant beings could walk through this door and be on the other side. Like there's that anxiety and like you feel so small walking through this giant opening. It's like a great depiction of leaping into the unknown because it's like, oh, this is a little intense. But by just taking those steps and walking through that door, taking that leap of faith into the unknown, that's where everything you want lies on the other side of that door. He Zam. Oh yeah. Okay. Knight of Skins. I'm being told to read this one. Um this deck has slightly different interpretations, which is cool. Expansion. Okay. A risk taker and a bit of a troublemaker. Um the Knight of Skins thrive on pushing themselves and others out of their comfort zone. Where have you wanted to stir up trouble just to see what happened? Was it motivated by excitement and fun, or was it motivated by anger and boredom? How can stirring people up be a positive influence? Okay, I feel like this is really saying that you and your person coming together are actually going to have this effect on a lot of other people. Um, you're going to naturally stir stuff up within them, trigger them, whatever you want to term it. But it's not a negative thing. It's that energy of like if nothing changes and everything stays the same, nothing changes. And we're here to have like an evolutionary experience in this lifetime in a way, not physically, sometimes physically, you change into your most healthy version or whatever, but it's that internal change, it's internal alchemy, it's energetic alchemy. And I feel like you and your person coming together are really going to have a massive effect on other people. And that's just something that you're going to have to be aware of and continue to go to your person and you two work as a team. You're a life partner. You're a team mate with your person and you work together as a team to deal with whatever external stuff is going on. And that's just going to be very important to remember to do with your person because counterparts coming together do trigger people. It is what it is. You're triggering just by you living your best life will trigger other people because it illuminates in them where they are not stepping up into their full potential. 9 times out of 10, they project it back on you and you become the problem. Hey, like, okay. Um, but it's an invitation for growth to everybody around you. And those that are on the path will know that and they will be, happy as can be to be in your energy. And, so it's just understanding that and kind of, cleaning up your circle and all of that. Okay. What else? I have to blow my nose again. 5 of Songs or 5 of Cups. That's holy moly. That's focusing on lack. That's focusing on what you lost, missed opportunities, things that didn't go your way. But then we've got the death card on top of it. So there's something here where you are putting an end to the cycle of focusing on that. This is like an end to lack confirmation verb. That's an end to lack mentality. That's an end to limiting beliefs controlling your life. So good job. That's big, big, big stuff right there. Um, the Emperor, that's divine masculine energy. That is balanced divine masculine energy. Um, yeah, holy moly. Okay. 5 of Skins, that's a 5 of Wands. That's conflict. The way that the snakes are wrapping around her head in this card is reminding me of like a lot of those mental burdens as well. So that could just be extra confirmation, which with the anxiety card and the nine of wands out here, not 9 of Wands, 9 of Swords. That's anxiety as well. But you could be dealing with external conflict right now with other people. It's kind of another part of the process when you go down the awakening path is you become so aware and you can't unsee what you've seen and then people around you don't see it that way and then it depends too. This could be the energy of you're trying to wake people up that aren't ready to wake up. This could also be you pulling away and changing how you show up in different situations and then that triggers other people because you're becoming different, you're changing. um it's not a sign to stop. It's just it's kind of a natural byproduct. It's part of the alignment process. You've got to kind of shake things up and release what's no longer aligned to allow what is aligned in. Okay. 6 of Honey, 6 of Pentacles. Um, it's not really a balanced energy. Okay, this could be talking about over giving or over receiving in relationships. This could be something that you have experienced a lot of. This could also be something that your person has also experienced. It doesn't have to be like financially, but it can be. It's just unbalanced situations. It's the energy where there's 2 people and one person always overgives and the other person always takes. Um, and so you could have been on either side of that. I think it's normal at some point to experience that, just imbalanced dynamics, especially when we're like unconscious and don't fully know our worth and don't know how to set boundaries and so on and so forth. It's kind of a natural thing that we go through to learn the lesson of how to have balanced relationships. This could be a huge lesson that you and your counterpart are going to integrate and really oh shit, sorry, ring. Um, finalize when you come together. That's good. That's really good. Sorry, Crystal. Smack the shit out of you. Okay. Six of Skins is the Six of Wands. I don't know. Okay. Ace of Songs. That's Ace of Cups. This is a new beginning in love. So the divine is assisting you with this. This is divine assistance in a new beginning when it comes to emotions. So it can indicate new love or a new beginning in love. And I feel like that's what you have here for you. You have this massive opportunity to have a happily ever after with your person and build multi-generational wealth and whatever it is that you are desiring to build and to experience in this life, you have that opportunity to do that with your person in a very harmonious way. And the divine's coming through and assisting with this. This is a divinely orchestrated connection. Okay, Six of Skins. So what's going on here? Um, oh, yeah, achievement. Okay, so this is talking about recognition for your achievements. This is okay. What's coming through is what is inevitable at this point because of how much inner work you've done. It's literally inevitable at this point for it to start reflecting externally. So if you're not getting a lot of confirmation yet in your external world of all the internal work that you've been doing, just know that it's coming. It's literally a byproduct. It's an inside out process. And when you change certain things within, your external reality has no choice but to reflect those changes. I'm hearing it is law. It's the as within, so without process. So just know that you will be seen and celebrated for your work, even if it's been a lot of like resting in bed and not doing a whole lot, but going within and changing a lot of things, doing this internal work of changing what thoughts you're listening to, and your vibration and so on and so forth, and doing those kinds of things, even if it doesn't feel like you've been doing a lot. That internal work is oftentimes viewed from the outside looking in as stagnant, as lazy, as spinning your wheels, as so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden it starts to become physically like you start getting the physical confirmations. You go through quantum shifts, you go through massive leaps, you become a different person, and then you start attracting different experiences. And then all of a sudden people that you used to talk to, or family members or whatever, are like, what the hell, you're so lucky, you're magical, you're this and that. And it's like, actually, I went within and did the hard fucking work and intentionally manifested this. But yes, it's just luck. That's a-okay too. you know um Sounded a little egotistical. But it is what it is. um okay, Six of Songs. This is nostalgic energy. And then interesting, so there's two people in the center of this flower here, and what I'm getting is, yeah, I'm getting like a reconciliation energy coming through with this. This can also talk about just kind of being lost in thoughts about like your younger years, when things seemed easier, when maybe you felt happier, carefree, if you had that experience of feeling carefree when you were a kid. um it's that kind of energy as well, reminiscing about happier days, nostalgia, those kinds of things. But I'm really getting a reunion energy off this card. This can also be past life connections, so you and your person, especially if it's a counterpart, you've done other lifetimes together. So this is having past life connections, or being connected to somebody when you're younger and then reconnecting with them later. Four of Honey. That one has nudity. This is the Four of Pentacles. So this is talking about pulling something off of the shelf. So it's the energy of like putting something on the back burner to get to later. And with this, thread of energy, I feel like this is this connection. I feel like this is a connection that you never truly fully released. It's something that you always held on to. And maybe you tried to release it and tried and tried and tried and just couldn't. You just could not let this person go. You could not shake this person. They're just always there in the background. And it's, it's counterpart. It is what it is. That's part of this dynamic. But what this is really saying is it's time to fully pull this off the shelf, dust it off, and give it a second go. Pull it up off the back burner, more or less, and give it your full attention and your full effort. And you've got divine masculine energy out here. We've got the Emperor. So you got this. You've done enough work internally to shift into a divine masculine. That is incredible. Just to be clear, like, so many hats off to you. I mean, that's incredible, incredible work. It's really freaking hard to get into this energy. It takes unseen trials and tribulations. It's hard work. So you got this. You got this. Oh, we already did the Fool. The Sun. This is like the happiest, positive, joyful card in the deck. So this is saying that you are literally on the brink of entering into this sun era, more or less. It's kind of like this cornucopia card where it's joyful. You wake up and you're just so grateful that you're here another day and you get to have all of these experiences and you're not worried about this, you're not worried about that. And of course there's always going to be like stressors and stuff to deal with, but it's not it's the switch. It's the switch from survival to thrival mode. You're no longer, you know, I heard robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're no longer, worried about like filling your gas tank or having enough food, that kind of thing. This is, just an overabundance. It's thriving. It's having an abundance. It's having plenty. It's having way more than enough to give to others as well. It's a beautiful energy. What else to come through here? Just an hour. Oh my gosh, we're already in an hour. All right. I get lost in this energy sometimes, so I do my best to make them speedy, like short, quick messages, but this energy I just get lost in it. And that's okay. All right. What do we have? The Lovers, the Tower, and the Queen of Songs. We've got a counterpart out here as well. So this is saying that you have divine intervention here when it comes to your love life, when it comes to your romantic love situation, and you are being aligned with the Queen of Cups. So this is somebody who is emotionally intelligent, kind, nurturing, um, gentle. But there's the element of your person. We didn't get the Empress card out, but I feel like your person is in their divine feminine energy, so they have the ability to be hard and whatever when it calls for it. But this is really the energy of, this is primarily what you're going to get, is this nurturing, soft, emotionally mature, kind, gentle energy. That's the side of this person that you will bring out completely. And it's the ability to just be soft and open and, you know, nurturing and all of that. And I feel like for a lot of the divine masculines in this energy, I don't know if you fully experienced this, which is going to be such a gift to allow yourself to experience. It really is. And it takes trust, it takes vulnerability, but that's the energy that will pull this out of your person. And yeah, it's, King of Cups, Queen of Cups. That's high level emotional connected connectivity. Interesting. I would not have worded it that way. Um, but yeah, it's the ability to hold each other, nurture each other, and be kind to each other, which sounds a little ridiculous, but there's a lot of relationships where that is not the dynamic. Um, and so it's just it's that you can be open with this person. You can be vulnerable. They're not going to take that for granted. And you because this is what you are headed towards, that's where this divine intervention is coming from, because there is this lover's energy here. There is this, divine counterpart soulmate energy here. Happy harmonious union or reunion, just depending. And that's what's going on. The divine's coming through to really help make this happen, is what I heard. Okay, anything else? No. Okay, all right, let's see. This is a very long one. He's not planning on it being this long, but that is a-okay. Well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. Like I said, I can get lost in this energy, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. My throat's about done with talking for right now. So that being said, I hope this helps. I hope this provides a little bit of clarity for you. Wishing you all the best on this. You got this. Just remember you're shifting into your highest timeline. It's gonna be worth it. It's all gonna be worth it. All the trials and the tribulations and the pain and the difficulties and the challenges and everything that you have faced to get to this point, it's gonna be worth it. You I feel like it's an energy where you're gonna look back and be like, I would do it all again because of how good it is now. Like knowing what's on the other side of this door when you take this leap, knowing that it's literally, I just heard the land of milk and honey. Knowing that it's literally your highest timeline and you're experiencing a life of your dreams. Yeah, it's the energy of like I would do it again because it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Alrighty dokie. Well, wishing you all the best. You got this. Remember, you made it this far. You're tapped into your divine masculine energy. You got this. You got this shit. Alrighty. Well, if this resonates, you can let me know in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about it. Feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free. And I will see you on the next message.